that happened when I spoke with Shy. And we are going to be live. We're live. Welcome to CryptoCorner, guys. I'd say it's good to see you, but none of us can see our audience. But welcome, Isham, Steve, and Shy. And it's great to have you guys here today, and it's great to be here. And before we begin, however, I'd just like to start this event with the same as we always start it with, and that is that we stand in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. And here is, hang on a second, I tried to add it to the stream and it didn't work. We'll be posting later if it were unsuccessful. All good, here it is. We stand in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. And here are 3 sites that have been provided to us by someone who lives in the Ukraine. They are crypto sites, though, so please do your own research to confirm that they are viable. And if you have any questions about any of these 3 sites, please send them to me. Underneath my talking head is my Telegram address. Please send your questions to me, and I will forward them to the person who sent me these original sites. Thank you. And now I want to welcome once again Steve, Isham, and Shy. And would you introduce yourselves? Let's start with Shy. And while you introduce yourself, please include something. Please talk briefly about what it is that you do for NULS. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shy. You can find me on Twitter at MerkelSeeds. I was introduced to NULS sometime last year, and they brought me on as a freelance contract writer. So I write a lot of articles for them, and I also write scripts for their social media promoters, and really anything else they need me to do, including CryptoCorner. So,
thank you, Shy. Steve, and
yes,
welcome. It's great to see your face. Often you and I just speak on the phone or do Twitter space together.
Well, they're all great.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for asking me. Yeah, I'm Steve. I work as a marketing director for RYI Unity, as well as a public relations, director for Phoenix Blockchain. Been in crypto since 2017. What I do for NULS is basically I'm a cheerleader, whatever I can to make them successful and build them up.
Okay, thank you. And always thank you for your cheerleading. And you have 2 cats in your space, so perhaps we'll see them.
Yes, I do. Well, where'd she go? I don't know where she went, but if she comes back, I'll hold her up.
Well, she probably knows we went live, and that was the end of that for her.
Oh, she's not shy, though.
Okay, all right.
No pun intended, shy being on screen.
Okay. She's not shy, and not shy. Okay. And Isham, welcome. Isham works for NULS. And
hello, Cassie.
Isham, tell us what it is that you do. I always call you Project Hunter or Hunter of Projects. Please tell everybody what you do.
Yeah, hello, everybody. My name is Isham. I am the BD manager of NULS. I'm working on some program called the Affiliate Program for SEO. It's working on bringing a lot of good products to NULS SEO. So any serious product can participate in NULS SEO. And otherwise, we made the affiliate program for making new people in crypto industry can learn more about crypto and also can involve into work in crypto era. To bring more product to SEO platform.
Okay.
And this is, yeah.
Thank you, Isham. We're going to talk more about that later. Or by later, I mean about 5 minutes, because we want to find out how you go about, through this sea of projects that are available, how do you go about figuring out what projects are worth a second look, are positioned in such a way that it's time for us to talk to them. So thanks. My name is Kathy Norman. It's always a pleasure to be here and to host CryptoCorner. And I've worked for NULS for a couple of years, and that is also a privilege for me to work for NULS. And one of the things that I do is CryptoCorner. Another one is that I participate along with Isham and the rest of the team. The NULS West team is planning what it is that we're going to do next. What are our priorities? I write articles for NULS and for some of our projects, and occasionally one or two of our partners. And I also edit projects. I do reports, which is kind of my favorite thing to do, which is where we scan the blockchain and collect data and then do some analysis on that. And as most of you probably know, I have a love-hate relationship with Telegram. Please always contact me on Telegram, and then yell loud if I don't reply. I have a Mac that's running out of memory, and constantly I struggle with making sure that I've spoken to everybody who's reached out to me. So that's a scoop with me. Oh, and I also have a dog, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Thank you. So before we start, I do want to do a little piece of housekeeping. And let me see if I can pull up this slide here. On some documentation, my contact information was incorrect. My Telegram address is @KathyN13. It's not @KathyN, which I believe was the incorrect version of it. So always send information to @KathyN13. And always, of course, though, regardless of whether you are sending it to the correct Telegram address or not, know that anyone can be hacked at any time. My address has been stolen and cloned, and surprisingly, they sounded just like me until they asked for something that was inappropriate. So just know that you always have to err on the side of caution. And if people ask you for something that's inappropriate, it's because they are not who they are. And always take a screenshot and report it. Also, last time on July 4th, when we did CryptoCorner, 6 people won some NULS for the questions that they asked. And I have spoken to 2 of those 6 people. Here are their names and also their YouTube IDs. So if you know of any of them, please reach out to them and tell them to talk to me, because I have some NULS burning in my wallet, just waiting to be handed out to them. So thank you. And with that, I've selected remove. So hopefully that poster, there we go. And with that, I'd like to move on to Isham. Isham, how do you figure out what projects to recommend to NULS and what projects just aren't ready to go or may be suspicious? Like, how do you do that? And we can't hear you, Isham. You're muted.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you. That's okay.
You mean how about how to be qualified to be an SEO project?
Well, how do you qualify them? Because you're the person who decides who's qualified and who's not.
Yeah. There is a few requirements and basic requirements we should look at the project before discussing. First of all, they should have a serious project, not a meme project, or not only a token that Smart Chain or Ethereum or any blockchain that we support. They should have a website. They should have a team. We always interview their team before moving forward. We should make sure that there is an active team that commit their promise, and they should have a roadmap, white paper, clear goals. So we always want to make sure that as we can to see them as a serious project, that they are not only making ICO and run off with money or something like this.
Absolutely. So Isham, though, how do you figure out if they are an active team? Because I think I could whip up a website in a week that looked pretty good, but how can you figure out if may not pass your review or may, but how would you figure out if they're an active team and not just a bunch of faces on a website?
Yeah. We should first of all meet them at the first call with us. We know everything from the way they are speech, the way they are decide to move forward with us, and also we discussing them in more time in the process. Within this process, if they are not active with us to fill out the process as it should be committed, of course we feel that they are not active team. But if they are active team in replay and they are always checking their communities, and they are care about communities, building social media, and also uh, moving forward with us in the process as well, we feel that they are an active team. But we also, for sure, we are not completely know the future of them. We already making our best to make sure that they are an active team, and we provide them to the SEO platform. But first of all, they should follow the process. Some of them being inactive later, but we also care about making flag on them on a SEO page. So you can see some inactive projects, which is not working more, or having a lot of situation of stop the project or something like this.
Yeah. Okay. So so in other words, you would look for activities about the team long before that were occurring long before you started to review the team. You'd be looking in Telegram and various other places to see if they're engaged. Do you ever have the opportunity to speak to the team?
Yeah.
Like
we should look at the team before everything. Before even talk to them and and introduce them our offer, we should look at the team.
Okay. And what happens, Isham, if the team says that we're choosing to be anonymous for whatever reason, like political reason or whatever it is that they do to choose to be anonymous? What do you do then, Isham? Are they still a possible candidate for us?
It's something depends on their communities. Then if they have a communities and people interested to uh, to deal with them, and they have a trustworthy with communities, also verified addresses, then we feel some comfortable to move forward with them. So most of the communities leaders or product founders prefer to be anonymous and at the first of the project for some reasons. But in the meantime, the trustworthy in crypto industry is everything. We know that from their communities.
Okay. All right. Very good. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to open it up to Steve and Shai. What do you think? Is the team the most important component of the project, or what do you guys think?
What I think?
Yes.
Go ahead, Shai. You go, ladies first.
Thank you. I personally, when I'm investing in a project, the team is a huge part of it for me. But I also like to look at who's investing in that project, because if they've got big names behind them, then I'm more likely to invest my money there, because I know that it's a long-standing project. They've got goals, they've got great partnerships. So those are all kind of things that I look for when I'm investing.
Okay, so you look at who's invested in the team in the project, and the partners, and who those partners are.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. How about you, Steve?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I agree with both of your first two guests without a doubt. I'm
Yeah.
going to try not to be long-winded, but I have a lot to say because I
Yeah.
think it's so important. As Isham said, pardon me if I butchered your name, but the first thing I'm going to do is look at what is the utility, or in other words, what exactly does that crypto specifically do? What's the purpose of it? In other words, if they don't, and one of the things I always look for is a white paper, number one. So if they don't have a white paper, to me, that's a huge red flag. I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't have a white paper. And if you don't have one, then I'm going to want to know why. I'll continue to do web research, look for different sites, etc., that mention them, or Google them, or continually look about them and see what they're all about. As was already mentioned, I want to know if they're active. By that, I mean social media and website activity.
Yeah.
If you have 2 followers on Twitter, there's a problem. And in addition to that, community activity, I'll try to make this short, but when you look at their Telegram or Discord or whatever their community is built on, preferably both, but I want it to be a good community that's active and large, quite frankly. And next thing I'm looking for is developer activity. So in other words, if there isn't any developer activity for a while, to me, that bothers me, worries me. Lastly, I would say on this topic is trading volume. I want to make sure there's people actually trading this particular crypto. So you have people that really want to buy it. So a high trading volume is a sign of greater liquidity, more stability, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And next, if I may, I want to check out the team behind it, as has been mentioned. So not to repeat the whole thing, but I think that's one of the most important things. It's who is behind it. Who are the people? You're not, as we discussed, you're not investing in a project, so to speak. You're investing in people. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to look at their social media profiles, search them online, and do as much of a deep dive as I can on those particular individuals that are on their team. And if I can't find anything, I'm a little different. If they haven't doxed themselves, then I'm skeptical, because I don't believe in hiding behind anything. So if you're hiding behind something, then that makes me wonder, what are you hiding with the project?
I think
Go ahead.
I think that in this world, it's very hard to be an anonymous team with a project, simply because all of us have some scars from scamming events in crypto. But what I want to ask you is, what about these projects that are just starting out, who could really appreciate your enthusiasm and maybe your investment, especially if it's a low-risk investment, but they don't have any proof of traction? They may have a community, but they haven't developed anything. They're promising to develop something. They've got it in the roadmap to develop it, but they haven't produced anything. Nothing. They're just really hot air right now, except they look good. What do you do about them?
Run the other way? No, I'm kidding.
Run the other way. Okay.
What I want to see is a white paper. I don't think that's unreasonable to ask. Even if they're just starting, before they start, they should have a white paper, I would think.
Okay, got it.
So
and
that's
Steve,
crucial.
Do you read the white paper? It's good to have a white paper. Are you going to read it from front to back?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'm just, okay, very good. Thank you. What about you, Shai? If they have no traction, but they've hit all the other notes, are you going to move forward with them, or what else do you want to see before you would at least invest in them if they were on the SEO platform?
Okay, so for a scenario like that, I'm really going to rely on who's investing in them, who's backing this. So even if they don't have a lot of activity, if you have a bank like Chase Bank backing them, then it's going to turn my attention a little bit. But if they don't have a lot, I'm looking at their roadmap. I want to make sure that even if it's the first couple of things that they promised, that they've already delivered on that, so that the community doesn't really matter to me as much as, are they sticking to what they said they were going to do, and who's behind them? Who believes in them?
Okay, got it. So it's who does believe in them, and have they delivered on anything? Like I think one of the things about delivering on stuff is it's a demonstration of your word. You said you would do it, then you got it done and did it. Okay, thank you. Isham, what about you? What about where do you sit on projects that haven't produced anything but seem like a good idea?
Can you speak loudly, Cassie?
Yes. How do you feel about projects that have not done any development yet? They haven't produced any development, but they do have the white paper. They do have the team. They do have the website. What are your thoughts? You gonna recommend
It
them
always
or
depends
what?
on the. It always depends on the team uh, and the community, and also beside all of it, we should know first if they done seed sale or ICO private sales rounds, something like this. If
Okay.
they have already raised some funds for development and they didn't done yet, so it's a big problem. It's a big trouble because they already raised the funds. So if they raise the funds, they should work on the development, at least to
Yep.
provide anything on the audit or GitHub. So we see the codes, we
Okay.
see that the developers
Okay.
working very hard. Then we feel some comfortable they are using people's money in
Okay.
development.
So really what I hear you guys say is that not only do you need to be a good project on paper or show up as a good project, but you'd better demonstrate that you're very close to delivering on something or have already delivered on something. Even if it's like even if it's just an MVP, a minimum viable product, you've delivered on something that people can touch and execute. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, first of all, I want to open us up for questions, but I'm not sure who has logged in and connected with us. So if anyone who wants to submit a question to us, that would be great. And at the meantime, we'll move forward. And so, Shai, this is something that you and I have talked about, and that is that we're in some kind of economic slump right now in the crypto space, definitely, and also worldwide. The economy is slowing down, and we don't know how long it will be slow for. Hopefully, not long, but who knows? So, is there anything that we should look at differently in these projects because they've got to survive whatever economic challenges that we have? Do you look at and survive a potential low token value? Do you look at the projects differently? Is there something else you want to see with these projects before you invest in them?
Yeah, during a bear market, I want to know that they're building, because if they're continuing to develop something, it means that they understand what a bear market is and they have allocated funds to continue building through that bear market. So that's what I'm looking for. Is the team still active? Is their community still behind them?
Yeah. I think that the bear market is a great time to build. As a matter of fact, that's all you can do, or at least that's my sense of it. Hunker down and build. Steve, what are your thoughts about that? Do you agree with Shai? Basically building. That's about all you can do right now.
Oh, 100%. A lot of projects go by the wayside, then they disappear. I mean, I think we've seen that recently. But the ones that will succeed, and they will, most of them, the bear market's not going to last forever. It's actually a good buying opportunity if you find a good project. But yeah, absolutely. I want to see building. I want to see development. Somebody mentioned GitHub. I want to see that. But I want to see, do you have mobile apps? What are you developing? Who are you working with? Who are your partnerships? Who are you collaborating with? Etc. I agree.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. How about you, Isham?
bear market is the best time for development.
So
Yeah.
bottom line is that there's always going to be a bear market. At least that's my sense of it. Like, just like in the economy, there's always ups and downs. There's always going to be a bear market. So you've got to set some money aside to handle the bear market and just build. That's actually when you get to add additional items to your, you get to move some wish list items possibly over to your roadmap. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Yes. All right. And Shai, another thing that you and I talked about is partnerships, and also you mentioned it on CryptoCorner. Do you think partnerships look different, feel different in this bear market?
Oh, absolutely. I think that in terms of partnerships now, if you're going to get any, it's going to be the bigger projects or companies that already exist and have funding for this, or other projects that, again, have saved the money that they needed to in order to continue these partnerships and development. So yeah, I think it does look different in a bear market. And then when the bull market comes, everybody partners with everybody. But yeah, definitely during the bear market, you're going to see investors come in that are very serious about what they're investing in. And it's a better time for them to invest when the prices are down. So
yeah. Okay, thank you. Yes, it is a better time. And if there's anything that always amazes me, is that there is always money out there. It doesn't matter how bear the market is. There's always money that people have that they want to invest. So it's, I think, really important to remember that. And Isham, what's your thoughts about partnerships?
Partnerships is completely different than each other. So some companies partnerships working in technical cooperations, technical support, and other partnerships only care about marketing stuff and something like activities. So partnerships, if we are focused on looking at the partnership of some project, we should know what type of cooperation they are in, because
Yes.
some of the project unfortunately paying money for being has a partnership with some project, and unfortunately they are not.
Yeah.
So we should look behind that. If, for example,
Yes.
we have a new project now, and they're saying that we have a partnership with some project, we should go to some project and see the announcement and everything, and we check the communities to make sure that this partnership is real.
Yes, and by real you mean an exchange. It really does include, I'm doing something for you and you're doing something for me. Yeah, I hear you, Isham. And I think that's very important, because it seems to be very easy for me to just shake someone's hand and say we have a partnership, but that doesn't actually mean a partnership. How about you, Steve?
What you just said,
you live with two cats who I think partner all the time, but I'm not clear that they see you as a partner. They may just see you as their servant. Yeah. But what do you think of partners?
As you said earlier,
excluding.
But no, as far as partners go, I mean, that term gets old to me. Everybody can be a partner with anybody, and what does that exactly mean? Like, as you said it perfectly in your last sentence on partners. What are they actually doing? What are they adding? What value-added services are they bringing to the table? Okay, how is this improving the project synergistically? So when I see these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 partnerships going on, I want to look into every single one of them, just like I would with the original project. And I want to see what they're bringing to the table, not just a bunch of banners or words or things like that. They need to have a purpose. So I agree.
So it has to be something more than a tweet announcement.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And the last topic for today, which I think is pretty close to home for all of us, and that is Are there any crypto jobs out there that actually pay in money as opposed to that token that will have value someday, but maybe not at this moment? And I know that Steve and Shai, you're looking for you're looking in that area these days. So what do you have to tell us? Like, should I just pack my bags and go home and
no,
or can I one day find a job in the real world that actually where I'm going to work on crypto but get paid dollar bills?
This afternoon you can do it. I think Shai is most qualified to answer that question at the moment.
That's very good.
Yeah. So can you find a job in this market? Yeah, you can, because the projects who are still building, they're looking to expand right now. So they're building teams, they're adding marketing, they're doing all of these things in the bear market that we want to see them doing. Unfortunately, for some of the smaller projects, they can't continue that way. And so those are the ones that won't be doing much, and they might fall apart during this market. But for some of the well-established projects, there's definitely jobs out there. Yeah.
Okay. And
yeah, I want to say
yes. Okay. Yes, Steve.
Just to follow up on what Shai just said, she and I have had this discussion, so it's no secret. But the best place to go is LinkedIn, and as Shai had mentioned to me earlier on a phone call, all you have to do is go to the job search, punch in cryptocurrency jobs. Plenty of them come up, whether it's Cointelegram, whether it's CMC, whether it's CoinGecko, you name it, Coinbase. There are a lot of them out there that do actually pay in dollars, so they do exist.
Yeah, and who would have thought? Because I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the jobs that were listed on LinkedIn weren't always real, or they had been filled a long time prior, but were still accidentally listed or something. So who knew that would become the hub for crypto jobs?
Yeah.
And I think something really interesting happened, and I think it was on the onset of COVID. Because you're right, LinkedIn didn't used to be what it was, and now it's completely different. And I think it's because we've had to learn to live in a world that's very remote. And a lot of these projects and companies have learned that there are real people on the other side of that want these remote jobs. So
yes,
LinkedIn's changed tremendously.
Yeah. Crypto, I think, is sort of is a great place for remote jobs, because I think mostly crypto people are remote. Most of the crypto employees that I know of are remote. There are some people who work for NULS whom I've never heard their voices. I've just communicated to them over Telegram or Discord or whatever the mode of communication is. We've used them all.
If I may add to that, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I applied for a Cointelegram. I believe that's the name of it. Pardon me if I screw it up. But I actually got an interview with them. I had 5 Zoom interviews with 5 different people.
Well, congratulations. That's great.
I won't go into the whole story, but I was blessed enough to actually have a conversation with them. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to employment, but I'm just saying that is an example of, there are real people out there willing to pay real dollars. And to get 5 interviews with the same company, I thought was pretty cool. But, I wish I had a job, but I didn't get it. But it doesn't matter. That's a stepping stone.
Yep. And speaking of that, Steve, have you seen, and Shai, have you seen an increase in crypto companies in the U.S. since 2017 for you, Steve? And Shai, you've been in it for maybe 2 years or 1 year.
I think it was Cointelegraph, by the way. I apologize.
Okay. Have you guys seen an increase? I have. Like when I started working with NULS, there was no one in the U.S. that I knew of. And now, of course, I know you, Shai, and Steve, and I know you through blockchains that you guys have represented. So I've seen an increase.
Yeah, I definitely have. Certainly out of Silicon Valley. But it's also been like a kind of give and take, because I've noticed a lot of projects want to base themselves out of Singapore. And this is to get around a lot of the things that we don't allow here in the US or can't do here. which is kind of the cool thing about cryptocurrency. It's a very global industry. So, but I've definitely, I like telling people when I first got into crypto, there were maybe 10 coins altogether that you could choose to invest in. And over a span of a year, that 10 turned into thousands. And now there are thousands upon thousands.
Yeah, there are. Even my dog has her own tokens. Yeah. And she has given them out to friends of mine, but I always say don't rely on this for your retirement.
I'll also say this about the projects that have come in, the ones that are based in the US. They seem to be, again, backed by a lot of bigger corporations. So it's been awesome to see those kinds of people coming into the space, because it means this is something. And when way back in the day when we invested in internet money, maybe that's not all there is to it. And I think we're starting to see corporations realize that. So I've seen a ton of them jump in.
Not to mention Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, and those guys.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
let's not ignore them. Yeah.
When Bella bump.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'm not relying on her to support me in my old age, but she's relying on me to support her in her old age.
So no bump yet.
Yeah. No. Her token. You can't even buy a cookie with her tokens.
Yeah.
A dog cookie. But so it's an interesting world that we find ourselves in. But Shai, that's a great observation, because Cisco, all the big companies are spending money in the blockchain space, trying to figure out what to do for themselves, and of course, grab some kind of market share for themselves, if that's possible.
Well, if I may,
yes,
not to deviate too far, but I don't think this is deviation, is the tokenization of just about everything. It's happening right in front of our eyes. So you look at AMC theaters, you look at GameStop, you look at Nike, you look at McDonald's, you look at Walmart. They're all tokenizing everything. In other words, you can fractionally own part of them, just like you would in the stock market. Think of it that way. But they're utilizing NFTs to do that. So all the large corporations are getting into it. So I agree with what Shai said completely.
Yeah. That's very good point. Thank you. And one other topic that we need to talk about, because it is, I think, the topic that we forget about, and that's education. And we forget about it because it's not a easy commit for some projects, but it's important to always bring new people on board. And Isham, you have your own education project. Can you tell us about that?
My education program.
Yes. What is there a title for your education program, or?
Before I worked with OKX in education event about new beginners, and I decided to make it in NULS too. So anybody can involve into crypto can simply talk to me in Telegram or Twitter, and this is my same username for boss, by the way. Anybody can work in crypto. Anybody can learn more about crypto. So simply they can talk to me anytime. They can ask any question. I will simply help them. So just they need to know my Telegram username. Be careful, because there's many of I am in Telegram. So you need to use this username, Isam NULS, simply. And then I will help them for sure to know more about the event or education program.
Okay, that's fabulous. And Isham, thank you for doing that. Until you and I spoke, I think 2 days ago, I was unaware that you were contributing to the planet by educating people in the crypto world.
Can you speak loudly, Cassie?
Isham, that's great. Glad you're doing that. Yes, glad you're doing that. And I want you guys to know for whatever reason, the right-hand side is supposed to display the people who have joined CryptoCorner, but I'm not seeing that. However, on my upper left-hand corner, I see that people have joined CryptoCorner. anyone who'd like to post a question, that would be great. And you need to be logged into YouTube to do that. So please log into YouTube, and then you can post a question. And also take a screenshot of you and your login with CryptoCorner so that I can send you some nulls, which is, of course, what I'd like to do. And if you want to ask any questions, there's probably some nulls in it for you to take the effort to ask the question. So, and with that, we're going to wrap up soon. But before we wrap up, let's just talk a little bit about education. So, Steve, I know that RYI Unity is on their roadmap. They will be onboarding students. And I know that they've already built some stuff into their website that may or may not be active, which is a 24-hour chat with somebody. Anything else you'd like to discuss with respect to
I'm so
education?
glad you brought this up, because it is vitally important to get as many people involved as we can. We have Blockchain Academy is what we call it, and it is built into RYI and even our mobile app, RYI Pay. So with there are dozens of lessons, video and textualized, that people can actually learn and understand more about the crypto market and blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's crucial, because we need people to understand, they glaze over when you start talking about cryptocurrency. So to have Blockchain Academy as part of what we're doing is really a vital piece of the puzzle. So I appreciate you bringing it up.
Okay, thank you. I too have people who talk to me. Oh, Ms. Shy.
I just want to add something,
Please do.
because my biggest piece of advice for anybody that's watching, cryptocurrency can be overwhelming. There's so much to learn, so much to do in the space. But remember that, and this goes for anything that you're learning in life, it's just a set of vocabulary words that you don't know yet. So that's all it is. You have to these words that you don't know what they mean, go find the definition. And that's all you have to do. Keep building that. And that's exactly how we've all had to do it since stepping in the space as well. So,
yeah. Yes. Google is your friend, even in the crypto world. So all you have to do is say Google, and then just say crypto, and then whatever term you are, and then you'll find it. And Shai, you have put together some videos of blockchain explanations. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I did for a while. It was called On the Fly with Sly. And it was actually more for myself than anyone else, because I was interested in some projects and I would do the research on those projects. And then sometimes they were so new that there wasn't a lot of information on who they were or what they were doing. So I liked to make these videos so that people could come and use me as one of the sources as they're researching and learning what they want to invest in. So yeah, I did that for a while.
Okay, thank you. And I also just want to tell you guys that I put together an educational. First of all, I did it for the University of Portland for their business department, and I put together an educational package for them, and then we refurbished it or reset it for NULS. And it interacted with a blockchain that was created specifically to support that course. And in hindsight, it was a great course. But the bottom line was, I put it out there. I marketed it about 3 times, and then I just moved on to other things. And it died on the vine, so to speak. That's a term. That's an English term. It just died. It just sat there and died. And what I realize now is that I never marketed it. I just never marketed it. I didn't produce one tweet over it. I just assumed that it would, if it was a good product and people would come. Would you, Steve and Shai, comment a little bit about that, because you guys are heavy into marketing?
I think you just nailed it. When it comes down to it, everything is about marketing. You're looking for the audience that is going to invest in your project and is going to follow you. And with so many social media platforms, you kind of have to know where your audience is at and how to gear your content toward them. But a lot of these projects will spend massive amounts of money on marketing because it is just that important. It really is.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have a hammer, but you don't quite know where to hit, so you just hit it everywhere until you think that maybe you found a nail. Is that kind of a good description of how to market, or no?
Yeah, I mean,
it's nice. It's
a
nice.
couple things on that, if I may.
Uh-huh.
I've often said you can have the world's best widget ever invented, known to man, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to get it. Nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Me to
one of my
think
heroes-
about crypto. Me
Right.
to think about crypto is mining.
Absolutely. One of my heroes is Steve Jobs. And he's famously once, I've read everything, I think, not, I hopefully, I don't know. But he once famously asked his people, what kind of company are we? And every one of them said technology. He said, wrong, we're a marketing company.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Apple is a marketing company. Think about how they've marketed things.
Yeah. And
I mean, they said, they asked him, when he was inventing the iPhone, they said to him, well, how do you know anybody's going to want it? And he said, oh, they're going to want it. They just don't know it yet. And I mean, he was a legendary marketer, so I totally agree.
Yeah. And so would you say if I was to order what to do as a company, the first thing is to have the best team. The second thing is to market, even though you don't know how to market, just market. And then the third thing, of course, would be have a product that you can showcase, that you've at least worked on, and you know that you're moving in that direction. Of course, followed with, and at the same time, white paper and website. Would you kind of say that that's the area of the priorities? Would you say those are the priorities, Steve, or?
Absolutely. If you don't have marketing, you're going to have nothing.
Yeah. And I think the thing about marketing is it's kind of like, going to the doctor. Oh, no, I'll use a better example. Going to the dentist, because I'm terrified of my dentist, even though she's a very nice lady. But, I'm terrified of dentists, so I don't go to the dentist. And I do, actually, because they've trained me to go to the dentist, but my dentist has, but I avoid it. If I could, I would avoid it. And so it's kind of like, I think that's how marketing is for some of these very small projects. They don't really know what to do, so they say, okay, we are going to tweet a few things, but they don't market a lot. Do you think I've hit the nail on the head, or have I floated into a different
I'll give you
box?
one perfect example. No, I'll give you one perfect example to answer your question. Is the famous or infamous, depends how you look at it, is the coin Shiba. They market better than anything I've ever seen in my life. And how have they grown so much? How have they gone up in value so much? If all you have to do is look, they're everywhere. They have 1 million holders. I count dozens, if not hundreds of Twitter accounts. They're constantly pounding marketing. That's how they did it. So that's a blueprint to follow.
And also it helps if you can have Elon tweet about your coin.
That'll help. Okay. I will see what I can do about that. Maybe Bella's coin will get off the ground, even though, of course, there's nothing but fur in her coin. Air and
but
fur.
I think you're right, Kathy. A lot of people approach marketing with a very deer in the headlight type attitude, because it can be a very scary thing. And I'll say this for some of the smaller projects who maybe don't have the budget to just keep throwing darts at the dartboard. Really take a look at the social media platforms that are talking about cryptocurrency. And what I mean by that is, if you were to get on Facebook, you're not going to see crypto talk much because it's your friends and family, but you are going to see it on TikTok, and you are going to see it on Twitter. So.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say about that, Shai?
No, that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I concur. I don't care what your budget is. If you have a community that's willing to go out there and promote you, forget the budget. They don't need to be paid because they just love it and they want their coin to do well. You can have hundreds, thousands of people promoting you on a daily basis on all those social, especially TikTok. I think that was a great example. But I mean, that's how you do it. If you have no budget, you can still do it.
Well, yes. And is there a wrong way to market, Steve? Because I think that's one of the things that
if you're being dishonest, there's a wrong way to market.
So dishonesty is the wrong way to market. Okay. All right.
I hate this word because of this political age one, but disinformation, but misleading, dishonest, any of that, any sort of one of those things or all of them. Sure.
Okay. And there's a big difference between being dishonest and saying, hey, listen, we've blown our deadline and we are delivering, but we're going to be delivering 3 months late because it took us longer to do it. Like that.
Well, I think the important thing to remember there is, I learned the hard way, is try to never give anybody a hardcore date. Just say coming shortly, or we will have this done in the near future.
Yes, I agree.
Something like that, and not make it absolute in terms of a date, because if you don't meet your date, then people think you've underachieved, which is not the case.
I got to tell you, it's that I think is the best advice to always give everyone, because even when you are fully confident you are going to deliver on, say, next Saturday, something happens and it's going to be Monday or Tuesday or something unpredictable happens. Yeah, I think that's very important. Although,
I'm sorry.
No.
I was going to say, in the minute you don't meet that Saturday deadline, you're going to be, people are going to look at you like, okay, what's wrong? It's like red flags all over the place when it really doesn't need to happen. So don't give that date to begin with. Just say coming
soon.
Exactly.
Yeah, coming soon. And that's really important. And I think that that's something that we all kind of learn the hard way. So please, just know that we've learned it for you guys, because it's so tempting to say, all right, we're going to come out this Saturday. That's it. But that can be an internal date. Just say coming soon for everybody else. Yeah, very good point. So StreamYard has reported that we have people who are watching us, but for whatever reason, I haven't seen any questions, and I don't know if that's some kind of snafu with how I've set things up here, or what. But I think we're going to wrap up now, unless you guys have something else you'd like to say.
No, I'm good.
Uh-oh, I think I've done something here. Okay. Yeah, I clicked on something. Let me see if I can unclick it.
There you go.
Okay. All right, I don't know. Okay, I'm still learning about StreamYard, you guys. All right. I don't know. This is private. I think that was something I posted earlier, and for whatever reason, now it's permanently on our screen. Let me see, there's 3 dots here. All right, whatever. It's not private, but maybe my confession about the dentist should be considered private. I don't know.
Dentists too.
It's good that I still have teeth, but that's because I have a very patient and friendly dentist. So anyway, that's that. I want to thank you guys. Steve, it's very good to see you. You and I talk on the phone. This is the first time I've actually really seen you. And so it's really great to finally see you. And I see that you're possibly from Indiana or pro-Indiana. And there's something about your hat that I'm sure is politically something or other.
Baltimore Ravens. No.
Okay, very much. Okay.
Penn State. I'm a Big Ten fan. Indiana's in the Big Ten. I love to wear black. I love the shirt. That's why I wear it.
Okay, very good. Very good. And you have 2 cats. Okay. And Shai, always good to see you. And thank you very much for your views. Very, very good. Okay, and glad to see that the wasp did not follow you into that room. Shai and I were talking, I think, yesterday. Was it yesterday when the wasp arrived?
Yeah, and I still haven't found him, by the way. So.
Okay, well, good for you. Keep on looking. And Isham, would you take us out? Please say some words to wrap us up, and then we'll be done.
Can you say loudly, please, Cassie?
Isham, take us out. Okay, please say a few words to wrap us up.
I didn't understand you.
Did you guys understand me, Steve and Shai?
Yeah, I heard you loud and clear.
Okay, so Isham, we're done. Please say a few words.
Yeah, okay. So sorry. I'm just talking about. I'm really encourage everybody to learn more about crypto. Crypto industry is really interesting and really valuable in the future. If you can learn anything about crypto industry, don't hesitate. It's completely will change your life.
Okay, thank you, Isham. And to our audience, please take a screenshot of this and with your login to YouTube, or take a screenshot of yourself and a picture of yourself at the same time, something that proves to you that you've participated in this. It's always good to hang out at CryptoCorner. And thank you, Steve, Shai, and Isham, for a great hour. And I'm going to hit end of broadcast, and we're done.